So I'll start off with this. I personally think she's the greatest tennis player of all time. A lot of people try to designate, the greatest female tennis player of all time. Tennis, sports in general, everything is relative. It's relative to who your competition is.
Mhm.
So Serena's a woman, so she plays women. Roger
Right.
Federer's a male, so he plays men. Like that's just how it works. But if you're looking at the most accomplished and the most decorated tennis player, she has 23 singles grand slams. I believe probably 11 or something doubles. I don't know how many mixed doubles, and I think two gold medals. There's not another tennis player that has done what she's done. So she
Right.
is the greatest tennis player to walk the face of the earth. But in terms of how I was able to form, I guess I'll call it a relationship with her, was my one of the guys I looked up to growing up in Atlanta is her hitting partner.
Mhm.
So he travels around the world. He trains with her every single day. They go after it, and he's always been like a big brother to me since I think back of tennis. I always know Jameer has always been the guy that I looked up to because he was the guy that did homeschool and moved to Florida and trained at these academies, was number 2 in the world juniors, and then went on to play, was an All-American at Virginia, was ranked number 1 in the country in singles and doubles, and played the US Open. He was my guy. I was like, man, Jameer, like anytime he would come back to town and he'd be able to practice with me, I thought it was like an honor. So as I got older and older, I started to, do better and better. We've always been close, but because we're at the same tournaments as he's with Serena, he
Mhm.
would come, he'd watch my practices, he would practice with me when I needed, and he would kind of watch my matches. And then after I qualified into the Australian Open last year, so 2019, he and Serena's coach, Patrick Mouratoglou, reached out and they said, hey man, would you want to practice with Serena tomorrow?
The LWN Live with Nature Foundation. This is Health and Wellness Wednesday. We want to thank you for taking time to come and join us this. And I'm very excited. We got special guests. We've got Aaron and Veronica Garcia. We're going to bring them in a few with us, and we are talking about health and mindset this evening. And mindset is so key to our health, and our health is talking about this. Um, I'm just really glad that you're here. There's a lot going on today in the field. There's a lot of talk about it. As a matter of fact, apparently I made a mistake on one of my posts. Health and wellness, and I also said about mindset is good medicine. Apparently, got me stopped, and Facebook pulled down multiple of posts that I had done earlier, and so they clearly censored it because you're going to get censored. But you know what? The beauty here is this is broadcasting on Roku, on Android TV, and we're streaming to YouTube as well. We're streaming to Facebook. We're streaming to Twitter. Download the E360 app for your smart TV and watch us on any one of those platforms. You can go to the for you. I'd like to bring in Dr. Jenny right now. Dr. Jenny, welcome, Dr.
Always busy, and I'm sorry to hear about you being censored. That's the story of my life.
I tell you some platforms. I mean, I watched this video yesterday. As a matter of fact, my brother forwarded it to me. There's a lot of press about Emmanuel and the frontline doctors, and boy, they just got torn up today. They sure did. About some of that, I'd like to as well, just to maybe help our viewers get some clarification of what really made about. I guess they're talking about what I have a hard time with this hydrochloroquine. Talk a little bit about that as well, but it was interesting to see. Now I shared it about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of them. So whatever, that's fine. Go ahead, censor me. I'm not going to get censored. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to deal for me. Your health and wellness, viewers, I'm talking to you, is important to us. That's why we do this show. We want to educate you from a natural aspect. Now, Dr. Jenny, she was voted top naturopath of 2019 by the International Association of Is what she's talking about. I'm learning every time that we do one of these broadcasts. I want to remind you to share this video out. Tell your And if you got the smart TV, download that E360. You can watch it at your convenience. You can watch it on our website as well. We just love you. Join us this evening. So, Dr. Jenny, I got a quick question for you here, and we're going to get right to our guest in just one green room. And so, are you aware of any clinical case studies that for this hydrochloros? What is it now? Wine, right? Okay. Tell us about that. And what about the availability? What do you know about that?
There's many have been done in Russia, studies that have been done in China, and I mean, this is anti-malarial drug. I've been using this for a really long time. I mean, I fill prescriptions on it with passport health. Health analysis before someone travels to a foreign country, and that's one of the things that they stop and get sick, and they get a viral infection or a parasite, or
Right.
It helps, but it helps patients better. Really, what it's doing is it's helping the zinc go straight into the immune cells that are being attacked by this COVID-19 genetically modified viruses by the forces that be, people like Bill Gates. I'll be very unapologetic about that. With fire here, we're playing, in my opinion, we're acting like we're God. We're taking viruses out of animals and figure out how to open up those, because it wasn't able to be cross-contaminant. Dogs, cats have SARS. We don't spread disease from animal to human. We have a completely different genetic makeup. So the danger is when we're opening up the cells to where it attacks our cells. And there we go.
a shortage, like they've said, to get this medicine because it's like readily available in many places in the world, but apparently not available.
I'll run into my lab right now and show you a bottle.
Well, there you go. Okay, so maybe it is available. To letting you know that we've got solutions tonight. We are talking health and mindset. Yes, Aaron and Veronica Garcia, and let them, and we'll just together here, we're going to kind of have a little bit of a town hall type of, if you have a question or you have a comment, we would love to hear from you. Just put it in the comments. We will get around to your viewer question. Welcome, Aaron and Veronica. How are you doing this evening?
We're doing well. How are you?
I am very good. I'm very good. It's about awakening your spirit. You're going to hopefully help us this evening to awaken our spirit from a mental point. I know that I watch your broadcasts all the time. They're on, by the way, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific. Monday and Wednesdays, I'm always trying to catch your show, but I don't always do it. But there's a lot of great information. So what I'd like you to do is tell us are involved in the healthcare industry here from a standpoint of positive transfer is leaders in transformational change. Tell us about this.
Well, as my background is for a few years, and did most of my training in the health and wellness field, and just in my training, a lot of holistic alternative healing modalities from Eastern philosophies to emotional healing. And one of the biggest things that I found working with patients was a lot of the illnesses that they were coming for, whether it's physical pain, chronic disease. A big portion of it was a lot of the stress that they were going through on a day-to-day basis in their life, whether it's in their relationships, whether it's in their business, their finances. And I started to understand how important the mind was when it comes to our health and our healing. And over time, that's when Veronica and I met. I was fortunate to understand that she is a very empathic person and can actually feel what people hold on to. And we just eventually combined our talents together, and we took it more from just physical healing. Now it's more into the mental health healing and really helping people to make transformation in their life.
And I was trained as a Reiki master, so I work with energy. And during that time, I learned that I can feel people's emotions, but also their physical pain. So when we met and we started working together, it was easier to go to pinpoint the main things that were going on in the person's body. And working with the mind, we know that almost everything starts in the mind.
We do. This is where you come in, Dr. Jenny, is that, we talk a lot about gut health and how that has an impact on our mindset. Maybe you can talk to us about what our viewers are going to really need to do to get themselves healthy so that they can take the advice of people as well, of Aaron and Veronica, and apply these things, because you can get them healthy, and then Aaron and Veronica can help them process some of their issues that they're dealing with.
You are so right. Nice to meet you both. Welcome to the show, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
You are 100% right. It all starts. Everything is a mental health emergency. Erectile dysfunction is a mental health issue. Insomnia, migraines, headaches, MS, Parkinson's, pain. I mean, it's not the pain doesn't start where you physically feel it. It starts with the brain that's telling you that you're physically feeling an ailment. So, and we live in the most aggressive, I think people in general in the United States, our adrenal glands are constantly in a state of like there's a tiger or a lion chasing us, because it's go, stress, negative neurofeedback. And there's no positive neurofeedback in society. People don't have a moment and stop and smell the roses and relax, to meditate, to pray. And I think a lot of the lack of spirituality in this country is from people being poisoned by our toxic society, from our waters being polluted, from the GMOs in our foods, to the toxic psychiatric medications that people are taking, like the Adderall, the Ritalin, the Vyvanse, the Zyprexa, the Valium, the Xanax. I can go on and on and on. It's an $800 billion industry, and what that does is it's damaging our prefrontal cortex, our third eye, the pineal gland, number one, being calcified. And then people don't have the ability to meditate, to pray. They have no sense of the divine, no sense of the life force. And I know people, that's one of the first questions I actually ask some of my patients, are you dreaming? And they tell me, no, I'm not dreaming. I'm like, how are you not dreaming? So it doesn't that, that should be an eye opener. If someone's not dreaming, they're not REMing, they're not regenerating. The body needs to dream to process everything that's happening in the world. If there's something that is suppressing that, I balance out all of those, biochemical markers neurologically, the neurotransmitters, the amino acids, the vitamins, minerals,